Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you've decided to join us today because I've got some incredibly important news that could directly impact millions of seniors across the country. In case you haven't heard, the Social Security Administration has just announced some major updates regarding the amount of money you'll be receiving in your Social Security checks. And trust me, this is huge. Starting in January 2023, seniors across the U.S. will be getting a bigger monthly check, a whopping $4,873 for some individuals, and that's not all. On top of that, there's also a bonus of $243 that some Social Security recipients will get every single month. Yes, you heard that right, it's extra money every month, and it's all part of a massive update designed to support seniors who are facing the challenges of rising living costs. If you or someone you know relies on Social Security benefits, this update is something you definitely don't want to miss. Whether you're already receiving Social Security, you're about to start receiving it, or you know someone in that position, understanding how this increase works and how to make the most of it is really important. In the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly how much money you can expect to get, who's eligible for the extra $243, when those payments will start rolling out, and why this update is such a big deal for seniors. So stick with me, because this could really make a difference for you or someone you care about. First, let's talk about why Social Security payments are going up in the first place. Over the last couple of years, we've all seen how inflation has caused prices to rise on just about everything from groceries to healthcare, to housing, and of course, gas. It's been tough for everyone, but it's been especially hard for seniors who rely on a fixed income. The government, of course, recognizes this, and that's why they decided to take action. They wanted to help seniors keep up with the increasing costs, and so they've raised Social Security payments to match the higher cost of living. This increase is called the Cost of Living Adjustment or COLA, and the SSA, Social Security Administration, uses the Consumer Price Index to determine how much they need to increase those payments each year. The higher the inflation, the higher the COLA adjustment, which in turn means higher Social Security checks. Now, let's get into the specifics of how much more money you'll be getting. As I mentioned, the maximum monthly payment for Social Security recipients has gone up to $4,873 in 2023. But before you get too excited, I should mention that not everyone will receive that amount. The $4,873 is the maximum you could receive if you've worked and paid into Social Security for a long time, earned a high salary, and waited until age 70 to start receiving benefits. It's important to note that Social Security is designed to replace only a portion of your pre-retirement income, so the more you've paid into the system, the higher your monthly check will be. However, if you've worked less, earned less, or began claiming your benefits earlier than age 70, your monthly check will be lower than the maximum. That said, even if your payment isn't the full $4,873, it's still a lot more than what you were getting before the update, and it will certainly help cover some of the rising costs we've all been dealing with. But here's where it gets even better. There's an extra $243 that will be added to the checks of some Social Security recipients. This is a special bonus, and it's meant to provide even more help to seniors who are living on lower fixed incomes or those who live in high-cost areas. The $243 is a kind of targeted assistance, designed to go to people who might be struggling the most. The eligibility for this extra amount is based on various factors, including income levels, the location where you live, and whether you have any special circumstances like a disability or other financial challenges. The Social Security Administration has set a formula for determining who gets this extra payment, but the bottom line is that it's designed to help those who need it the most. If you're eligible, this extra $243 could really help to ease the burden of everyday expenses, and it's definitely something worth checking into. Now, I know what you're probably wondering: when will you start seeing these increased payments? Well, the good news is that the payments are already starting to roll out. If you're a Social Security recipient, you should have already noticed that your payment is higher than it was last month, and you can expect this new amount to continue coming in for the foreseeable future. As for when exactly you'll get your payment, that depends on your birth date. Social Security payments are issued on a schedule, and it varies depending on when you were born. For example, if your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of the month, you'll receive your payment earlier in the month. But if your birthday is later in the month, like after the 10th, you'll typically receive your payment on the third Wednesday of the month. The SSA has a payment schedule that they follow, and you can always check your account for specific details about when your payment will arrive. But let's take a moment to think about why this increase is so significant. For many seniors, Social Security benefits are their primary source of income. And while $4,873 might sound like a lot, remember that it has to cover everything: housing, food, medical expenses, and utilities. With inflation hitting almost every area of life, that extra money is more than just a cushion, it's a lifeline. It's about making sure that seniors can continue to live with dignity and don't have to choose between paying for groceries or paying for medication. And while this increase is a step in the right direction, many argue that it's still not enough, especially for those living in high-cost cities or with expensive medical needs. Still, it's encouraging to see that the government is recognizing the needs of seniors and taking action to provide more financial security during these difficult times. So, what does all of this mean for you? If you're currently receiving Social Security, or you're getting ready to start, you'll definitely want to make sure you understand how these changes will affect your monthly payments. Even if you're not getting the maximum amount, the increased checks will still make a big difference over time, and it's something you can count on. And if you haven't already, be sure to check your Social Security statement or online account to verify the new amounts you should be receiving. This will give you a good sense of what to expect in the coming months. And if you're someone who is still working and hasn't yet started claiming your Social Security benefits, now might be a good time to take a closer look at when and how you want to start receiving those payments. Delaying your benefits can sometimes lead to a higher monthly check down the road, so be sure to do some research before making any decisions. Finally, let's talk about how you can maximize your Social Security benefits. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, there are a few things you can do to ensure that you're getting the most out of your benefits. First, if you're still working, consider delaying your Social Security claim until you reach age 70. Doing this can increase your monthly check significantly, and it could make a big difference in your financial security later on. Second, be sure to double-check your earnings record with the SSA. If there are any errors or discrepancies in your reported earnings, they could be lowering your benefits. And lastly, if you're married, don't forget about spousal benefits. You might be eligible for a higher benefit amount if you claim benefits based on your spouse's work record, especially if their record is higher than yours. As we've talked about today, this update to Social Security payments is important because it's helping seniors keep up with the rising costs of living. Whether you're receiving the full $4,873, getting an extra $243, or just seeing an increase in your regular benefits, this boost is something that should help bring some relief during tough times. Remember, the government is working to make sure that older Americans have enough to live on, and while there are always improvements to be made, this is a great step forward. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this information has been helpful and gives you a better understanding of how these changes will affect you or someone you care about. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on the latest news and updates about Social Security and other important financial topics. Leave your questions or thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Until next time, take care and stay informed.